Please, if you can hear me, just drop any reaction in the chat box so that I'll be sure that there are people that can hear what I'm communicating. If you can hear me, feel free to drop any comments, any emoji in the comment section so that I'll be sure that there are people that are actually hearing what I'm saying right now. I can't see anything yet. Does it mean that nobody can hear me? Okay, thank you, Benjamin. Thank you. It's the only Benjamin that can hear me on this call. Thank you, Joy. We're going to be having a very, very interesting conversation. It's going to be hinged on what you already know, but I promise you, it's going to be a very, very interesting one. So please, it's going to be very, very conversational and also very, very productive. So let's make sure that we listen and understand everything that we are going to be talking about, which is around the future of UI UX and also product design and your place in it. As of today, I believe that many of us, we use so many mobile apps, web pages, and several other things. What does the future actually hold with regards to that? So that is what we are going to be discussing today, and it's going to be championed by some experts that we have on the call that we're going to bring up in the next couple of minutes so that we can also hear from them. But before we jump right into our conversation, we'd love to know you and also get to know where you are joining us from. Right, so just feel free to type in your name and the location of where you are joining us from so that we can immediately jump into the conversation that we have. I can see a couple of people already on the call. I can see Gabriel, I can see Janet, Joy, Julius, Kabir, Kunle, I can see Millicent, Nosa, and every other person. Okay, so just feel free to drop your name and where you are joining us from so that we can immediately recognize your presence and jump right into it. I promise you in the next 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, we are going to be over and you're going to go home with something very, very, very crucial. Okay, and while we are doing that, if you know anyone that is going to benefit from what we have today, your friend, your family members, even your worst enemy, feel free to share the link to this conversation with them so that they can join in and have a taste of what we are communicating. I can see Kabir joining from Canada, I can see Nosa joining from UK, I can see Bolaji from Lagos, Nigeria. I can see Anthony from UK and also Nosa from UK. Fantastic. All right, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming so that we can recognize everyone's presence. And this is the beauty of conversations like this. You can see just 4 people gave where they are joining from. And we can see that we have someone from Canada, we have people from Nigeria, we have people from UK. That's 3 countries already represented, okay? Can see Millicent as well from United Kingdom, Joy from Finland. We have 4 countries right now. Okay, so let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Gabriel from United Kingdom, Janet from Dubai, and also Ebere from Abuja. So we've clocked 5 different countries. Okay, we can also see Nyla from USA. That is 6 different countries. And that's to show you how vast conversations like this can easily be, how you can also be able to interact with people across several countries outside there. So we're going to jump right into our conversation. Okay, so feel free, relax. We have people that have cooked amazing meal that you're going to eat today. We have amazing people that you are going to be hearing from regards to the future of UI UX and product design and your own place in it. And I promise you, by the end of this entire engagement, we'll have a token for you. So let's make sure that we stick to the time. Let's make sure that we stick to this conversation and also fill the attendance form, because that is what we are going to be using to also share the token that we have for everyone that joined this call. So first, who exactly is organizing this amazing conference or discussion that we are having today? So we are Tenalytics, and we are the leading educational technology company that is helping people of the Black community, of the white community, of any community that you are coming from to break into several career paths outside there. Right, we've been doing this for over 5 years now, and we help close to 2,900 people to land jobs across UK, US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and of course, Asia. And we have several different sectors of the tech space that we offer this engagement with: the data ecosystem, cybersecurity, and others. But for today, we are going to be talking about product design and UI UX. And how exactly have we helped all these people to transition into all these clever career paths? Is by simply bringing experts to come back to the classroom and teach them using real life experience. So when recruiters ask you, how many years of experience do you have? What exactly are you going to say? That's the gap that we are trying to bridge to make sure that the expert that already existing in the industry come back to the classroom and teach you using your real world experience. And by that, we will help close to 3,000 people to make this switch. Okay, so with me today, we have some amazing people on the call. Please let's keep the drum rolling. Let's drop some emojis before I start bringing them up so that we can immediately jump on the conversation that we have. So first person that I'm going to bring in up is no other person than Benjamin Onyebuchi. Hi, Benjamin. Please confirm that you are there and can hear us loud and clear.
Hello. Thank you. I'm here.
All
Nice to
right.
meet you.
Okay, fantastic. It's good to have you on the call, Benjamin. So, Benjamin, do you mind? I mean, Benjamin is a senior product designer in the United States, and he works with Lego templates. But, Benjamin, do you mind saying a word or two to the people on the call?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I know what I need to share. In what way exactly?
Anything about what you do before we now get into, just tell them about yourself, really.
Oh yeah, so I'm an experienced designer. I've been into it for 5 years now, and have vast knowledge in multiple industry. I've been in the fintech industry, edutech. We also have the e-commerce section. We also have the Web3 space. Recently, it was the legal tech and also more on enterprise. So vast majority of the time, I build products around enterprise for big firms like UBA, Sterling Bank here in Nigeria, and for outside, I've built products for the likes of Puma and Lacoste for e-commerce website. And in the US, I currently work with Lego Template as the senior product designer contractor, in which I came in there, did a bit of revamp, and I'm still working with them at the moment now. Aside that, I also have like my digital agency where I've done other kinds of projects as well as a founding designer for about 3 to 5 startups. And most of them were a bit successful. You know, startups is always ups or down. You never can tell which way forward. Yeah, but it was a good experience for me. I also have an opportunity to be a design mentor as well. And I'm also a big fan of giving out to the community whenever I'm opportune to. You know, work kind of take majority of my time, but I do most often try my best to be free to provide some kind of design kits out there on Figma community, and also tend to budding designers, also experienced designers as well. I don't believe anyone is above knowledge to be received. Yeah, so I myself also try to reach out to industry leaders and learn a few things from them as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Benjamin. That was a powerful introduction. If you heard when Benjamin was speaking, he had a couple of engagements in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, and across the globe. Okay, Benjamin, but we didn't see your face. Do you mind turning your camera so that we can also be able to see you and add a face to the voice?
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Now, I mean, it's good to see you now. It's
Nice.
good to see
Thank
you
you.
now. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Benjamin. And we also have Esther. Esther, are you on the call? Hi, Esther. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Please let's bring up Esther as a co-host as well. Hi, Esther. Please feel free to also talk about yourself.
Okay. Hello everyone. It's good to be here. This is like my first speaking engagement after like a very long time. And a little backstory. I think I have around 5 years of experience as well, like professional experience. I started years back as a graphic designer while in school, did a bit of graphics, gradually transitioned to Figma product. Then going into product design, it's just Figma. Like they tell you, learn Figma, learn Adobe XD. So that was kind of how my journey started. And over the years, I've done internships, mostly worked with startups like across the globe, Paris, US. I've mostly worked with startups in my own journey. Love how I'm able to like take ideas from like concepts, right? Ideation, seeing it make real impact. So that's why I've kind of stuck with startups over the years. And I also like recently started like an agency where I can further work with startups. I moved to Canada, started my master's, been doing a lot of things, to also level up in my own field. But over like the past 5 years, it's been like really interesting jumping from one thing or the other. So I'm just like really excited to be here to like hear from everyone, learn from everyone and share what I know.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. Sorry, do you mind me calling you Esther or Tessie? Because I can see
Esther,
Tess.
Esther is
All
fine.
right,
Esther
Esther.
is fine.
All right, there is
Yeah.
one major thing I picked out from the conversation that we just had.
Mm.
Esther and Benjamin, they all have agencies. So what does this tell you? That in the product design space or UI UX, you're not conflicted or just streamlined to just doing your 9 to 5. It's an avenue for you to be able to, make room for yourself and also build something personal for yourself as well. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the conversation. I think the first thing that we have is Benjamin giving us, some word of advice from his keynote conversation before we jump right into the panel discussion. So over to you, Benjamin. You have the floor.
All right, thank
And
you.
while Benjamin is also bringing up his slides, please, if you are just joining us, this is the Products Conference, okay? And the conversation is centered around the future of UI UX and also product design and your place in it. My colleagues on the call are sharing the attendance form. With that attendance form, we are going to be able to give you the meal that we've cooked for you. So make sure that you fill the attendance form so that by the time we are done, you will be able to have access to the food that we are serving. Over to you, Benjamin.
All right, thank you. Like to confirm if you can see my screen. Yeah, I can. All right. So, yes, I'm here again, and we'll be speaking about the future of UI UX and product design and your place in it. So, firstly, have you ever considered why we have both of them together? Why not one? Yeah, so the thing there is there's actually a big difference between UI UX and product, but the difference is not really that much. I think one of the major difference always regard to business. While one is kind of more product focused, the other is more on the business side of things. So one is considering and thinking about how this company can grow, generate funds, and the rest. Whereas the other is just considering how the user interact or experience the particular product. So literally they are the same thing, but they tend to attend to different things at one point in time. You understand? So some people or some designers out there truly do not even know their actual role. Yeah, some today they call themselves a product designer, and then on that day they are calling themselves a UI UX designer and stuff like that. But I just feel like I should put that out there because I think people tend to confuse their roles. You understand, especially those who are fond of like giving themselves rankings like mid-level, junior, and so on and so forth. You understand? You can be a senior designer in your current company and be a mid-level tomorrow in Amazon. You understand? So in most cases, rankings are mostly based off how the company sees you. You understand? Even if you had an agency, you obviously won't be a junior designer, right? You'll probably be the CEO of the company and a senior product designer, even though you have like 1 year experience in it. So yeah, let's go right into it. So most of the agendas here will be on the today's focus, which is the multi-shift, which have shift 1, 2, and 3, about what we're having right now going on in the world. One of them is pixel to problems, AI is amplifier, and depth and breadth in your skills. Don't worry. While moving downwards, you get a better understanding of what I'm saying. So I already initially introduced myself as a product designer. I've been involved in lots of stand-up. I mean, sorry, stand-ups. Yes, I have. But yeah, startups. I've been a founding designer for 5. And out of 5, 3 were successful. Unfortunately, 2 didn't make it out. And then I've also been a front runner designer for big companies and big products. So now the biggest guy here is Apex Network. This is where everything turned around for me as a product designer. You understand? The moment I transitioned from being an agency worker to being a fully grounded staff designer, Apex Network was where I got that room and opportunity to grow as a designer. I had an opportunity to build product that every average user will build. Because at the initial point of my career, I built products for companies. So most of the products I built were not something I could even showcase. It wasn't even a case of NDA. It was a case that I couldn't even put it out there. It was just for companies and companies alone. So I don't even talk much about them. I just talk about the fact that, oh, I built a product for UBA. I built a product for Sterling, and so on and so forth. But products like Apex, Base Wallet, an e-commerce platform for the mix, these are kind of products where I can proudly say I did well, I pushed something out there, and people are using it actively. So here are the real questions. So will AI replace me? Am I learning the right thing? Is my career even on the right track? I can tell you for free, these are three most popular questions I get asked every time in my DM. Now, the elephant in the room has always been AI. Have you ever gone on the internet where you just scroll through Twitter or maybe LinkedIn, and then you start seeing stuff like AI tool can generate interfaces, um, uh, especially I've seen some amazing ones though, you understand? And then you have this question of, will AI replace me? And then you think and wonder, why hasn't it done it since? Why is it now? Why is it always every year there's a new hype? There was an NFT hype, there was there was an image generation hype, there was code hype, like literally every year. There was a Web3 hype. Every year you're going to receive all this hype. And I'm not a fan of jumping into the bandwagon every year. But what I can say is you do definitely have to focus, because there were times when companies like Google and even Apple till now have thought about the fact that ChatGPT, that is OpenAI, were just pushing. Like they had this belief that it wasn't going to really work out. And out of the blues, the advert came in 2023, 2022, 2021. Everybody kept on talking about ChatGPT online. It was just booming everywhere. And then obviously Google had to take turn. They took a U-turn and decided that, oh, boom, we're going to release Google Bard. And now they ended up renaming it as Gemini. You understand? So they don't want to be left behind. Obviously, Google has like the largest vast data on earth. So I think they'll be ranking the best when it comes to generating information for you using AI. So why should a third-party platform which is relying on other people's data? I can confidently say some are even stolen data they didn't get with permissions, and they are pushing it right there in your face, using it to generate text messages, information, and tons of other kinds of data you more require. Now, these are things that you also need to consider. So here comes today's focus. So today I'm going to be sharing with you three things that are reshaping our industry right now. They are not theoretical, they are purely practical, and they are quite important that you need to listen. Don't worry, just a few 10 to 15 minutes of your time, I should be able to share out all this, hopefully. So one of the biggest shifts out there is pixel to problem. Now, this is something I already figured out at year two as a designer. Yeah, quite early. I'm already 5 years in design, and it's something I figured out in year two. Now, what were the things I considered? I noticed every designer out there at early stage were only pixel focused. And that was the reason why designers easily get kicked out from the company the moment a particular design is worked on. The moment they are done designing, they are either getting the least amount of salary, or you don't see them anymore in the company, and then the developer takes it. Most of the designers have never considered how they could actually keep their job. They've always been jumping from one company to the other, from one company to the other, always building from scratch or continuing from where someone stopped, or rebranding or rebuilding a particular product that already existed. They've not considered how do other big companies do it, where they are able to build and stay as designers. Designers haven't really considered it. And the reason for that is because they've been more of pixel pushers than problem solvers. You understand? So this also brings me to the backstory of when I got hired by Apex Network. They brought me in with a pretty standard brief. We designed our app. And I could have just opened Figma, made everything sleek, followed all the UI trends, shipped it, and called it a day. But something didn't feel right. Yes, it didn't. So instead, I spent most of my time actually talking to users. They had obviously existing users, and understanding the way crypto works. It was actually my first time in the crypto industry and crypto space. So I did my best studying competitors, also working directly with the CEO. Now, this CEO is someone I always respect. A shout out to Abraham there. he is someone that he doesn't act like a CEO. He acts like the owner, he acts like the user, and definitely he also acts like a manager. So he gave me tons of insight that I do and I know today. And yeah, after a bunch of research, we were able to discover some of the problems. And I can tell you for free that interface was not the major problem. It's also a problem I also faced as someone who didn't really like crypto. And what was that? The fear of losing money, the fear of not understanding what I'm putting my money into. All I keep seeing are a bunch of graphs, and I keep seeing some funny words that I'm not able to decipher. Why are these words not simpler? Why don't we have something like deposits? At least someone understand that. Why don't we have something more like withdraw? There's some terms that are in crypto that we barely understand. I even got to learn that there are platforms that are crypto exchanges, and then we have those ones for just crypto trading. So those trading platforms are the ones where you only see bunch of analytics, whereas the likes of the exchanges are the ones you are seeing here on the interface, where it's mostly focused on having virtual wallets like your NGN wallets and maybe other kind of currency, where you can easily swap your cryptocurrencies and the rest. Now, while understanding this, it didn't take me 1 day, it didn't take me 2 days, 1 month, 3 months. It took me 8 months to understand the product and build. Yes, it took 8 months before a design was fleshed out. And it took multiple iterations before we were able to push it out. Within 1 year, we were able to push out our version 3. And yeah, obviously, I'm not going to exclude the fact that I work directly with developers as well. I also work directly with the marketing team as well. I also work with the operation team as well. And we made a huge success at our launch. Within a year, at 1,800 iOS users were able to amass about 66,000 in 1 year for a crypto platform. This is very, very huge step in the Nigerian market. We also had a very huge jump in the Android category as well. And within 2 years, we were able to gather about 2,000 users outside the country in the US space only. Now, design is no longer about making things look good. It's about understanding business problems so deeply that your design becomes a solution. Now, stop thinking of yourself as someone that only makes interface. You're someone who translates messy business problems into experience. People actually want to use. So, designers who thrive aren't the ones with the slickest portfolio. Now, my portfolio ain't that great compared to the greater ones I've seen. You understand? But my skill speaks for itself. You understand? And all I can say for free is this: you need to also understand the CEO, the owner of the product, could be a product owner, could be a co-founder. You need to understand their P&L. So that is profit and loss. So this is me telling you to think like a product person rather than you just being product focused. You also need to think like a business person. Mind you understand? You have to think about the profit and loss, because if you don't do that, you would easily replace. I'm telling you this for free. Or else you, especially in the Nigerian space, it's not like UK here where I stay, where we still consider UX researchers and the rest. But if you're someone who has the business in mind, you're thinking about how the company can grow, not just by pixel alone, you understand? Also trying to understand the owners of these companies and products, how they can elevate the business. It's not, you have a high chance of staying in the company. Today, this same CEO is my very good friend. I won't say it's my best friend, but it's my very good friend. I also broke that narrative of your boss can't be your friend, or you can't be friends to people in your workspace. Now, I've broken that narrative a long time ago and in multiple workplaces where I've been. You understand? So, moving on to the next one, we have AI as the amplifier. Yes, this is the part where everybody is always scared. AI is going to do this, AI does that, AI is generating wireframe, AI creates variation, AI is speeding execution. Yeah, but AI does not understand cultural context. AI does not navigate stakeholder politics. It doesn't think strategically as you think, and then it does also champion unpopular ideas. Yeah, so these are things you need to consider if you want to generate a wireframe. Just 2 days ago was schema. and I saw the amazing things they were putting out there. And all I can tell you that AI was the frontliner for all those things to exist. Everything being spoken about in Figma schema was just AI. This AI can do this, AI can do that, AI is going to do this, AI is going to create design system, boost the design system, and many more. We have popular tools out there. One of them is ChatGPT. The other one there is Cloud, and also we have Gemini. Yeah, so these are the three. There's also Perplexity. Yeah, I think that is also a new one I learned. But I also heard that one is like a combination of cloud and what do they call it? ChatGPT. If you have a plan on Perplexity, you don't need to have cloud and ChatGPT. Now, all these guys are tools. I just need to calm down and understand that they will always be tools. I, as a designer here, I have used AI multiple times. All I wish I could show you iterations of iterations and iterations that are created just before I could get what I wanted. You understand? Not that I'm not good at prompting. Oh, obviously, I'm a prompt expert. You understand? But there is no given point in time where I'm going to ever give ChatGPT or Cloud a prompt and they'll give me exactly what I want. Now, here are some things designers are not even aware of. The Figma Make that you see, the Figma Make feature is actually an integration from cloud. Now, if you don't want to access, if you don't have access to Figma Make, you have access to Cloud AI. Now, are you aware with Cloud AI, you can build a fully developed app with just a simple prompt. I'm sorry I cannot show that here, but I think it's something you guys can try on your own. Just give it a very simple prompt and it's going to build it for you. Now, ChatGPT can do that, but it will deny it. You understand? Yeah, it's going to deny it to tell you that cloud is better at it. And I totally agree. It's actually better at it. But you can build an entire app and you can also build an entire web app. So mobile app, web app, even a landing page. But you will never get that aestheticness you're looking for. When AI is generating something for you, what you should be looking at is functionality. You should never think that AI is going to be the one giving you inspiration when it comes to aesthetic. In fact, when it does, you have to start thinking more and more strategic because you are now being kicked out from the visual POV as a designer. You understand? I've seen the graphic design space. It's still active. Graphic designers are still working day in, day out. So why are product designers worried? You understand? Developers are still building day in, day out. I'm sure you've heard the word vibe coding. Devs now are running AI in and out, pushing in codes there, and then within a week, they've launched out something. I don't think designers, whether the upcoming ones or the one in existence, should be worried. Rather, always see it as an amplifier. That is the only way you can move forward. Don't be scared, but don't also overly depend on it. Yeah, the main purpose is also to use your brain and think. The moment AI is smarter than you, I don't think you'll be able to generate any kind of prompt that will ever be right to you. Everything will always be right to you the moment AI is smarter than you, because you will just keep carrying jargons that AI creates and put it in your work. AI is still the biggest when it comes to hallucination. Nah, nobody hallucinates like AI. Now, AI can generate content out of nothing. And you ask it, how did you do it? That's when you now start acting like a child. Oh, I'm sorry, I have no idea. I didn't know. You know, there's always that return feedback AI always gives you. You'd be like, okay, would you like to try it like this? If not, after writing rubbish, and then you're not asking me if you like to try it like this. You know, all this kind of thing always happen. AI does it every time. And sometimes when you do the right thing, it will still ask you, do you want more option? It means it's never endless. It's always endless. It's just there, unlimited. Let me put it there. The information from it is unlimited. But those information are just jargons, big jargons. You understand? You have to be the one to filter out the jargons from the actual thing. Or else, I'm sorry for how the product manager is going to see your documentation anyway. So we have shift three, which is the last one, which is the depth and breadth in your skill. So I'm sure you may have heard of the word like T-shape. So regarding T-shape, it comes in, T, like, vertical and horizontal. So on the depth side, we have your UX research, you have visual design, you have interaction design, product strategy, and design system. Yes, all these are roles out there, you understand? They are all expert roles. They are not generalist roles, they are specialist roles. And then we have the depth. Now, these breadth, sorry, are front-end development, copywriting, analytics, business strategy, and user research method. Now, one of my biggest take here is people feel that once you know UX research, visual design, or interaction design, or product strategy, you are good. But no, this is not like learning soft skill. These are complementary skills. These are skills that complement each of these skills. You understand? Whether you want to become a product strategist, you need to learn another thing to balance it. You can't be an interaction designer and you don't know how to decipher analytic data provided by a UX researcher. So a UX researcher will spend his time or her time, go and do some analytics for you, get a lot of data points in which you're going to use and build. And maybe as a visual designer or interaction designer, you are not able to understand this data that was deciphered into information for you. Now, that's going to be a big L for you as a designer. Now, it's quite necessary that even as a designer, you should have good knowledge on front-end development. I mean a lot. And I'll say it again, a lot of designers out there have zero knowledge about how a product is built via code, whether it's front end or back end. Some don't even know coding terms. They are familiar with the coding terms on Figma. And to be honest, that is a very poor way to say as a foundation. As someone who has been in the design industry for about 5 years now, I can confidently tell you that there is never any time late for you to work on your foundation again. Yes, it's never too late to go and learn keywords, key term, or understanding how front end or back end works, or understanding stuff like analytics and the rest. Now, the reason for this is it's going to be a key factor for you in building. I have known a lot of designers who have transitioned just because of hype. The guy started as a UI UX designer. Now, when NFT came in, he became a Web3 designer. The moment Web3 design hype went, he became a crypto designer, still under Web3. And then before you know it, he is now a framework designer. This year, before this year runs out, only God knows, he may be an AI designer. He just keeps jumping from one space to another. But you can see in each of these spaces jumping, they are still called designer. He has an opportunity to transition from each of this. You understand? But the reason why he is transitioning from each of these is because he doesn't even know how to maintain the first one he had. It's not because he is good at learning new things. It's because he doesn't even know how to keep the first one he had. The first one he had is still fielding someone out there. The first one he had is giving people the funding or the lifestyle they want to live. But he feels that jumping from one category to the other category to the other category will give him more money. That's not how it works. It's because he doesn't have a balance that works with the current skill that he has achieved. And before you know it, he's now a 3D designer. Then on that time, he's now into 2D and graphics and stuff like that. It's quite unbalanced. I'm not against you wanting to learn new things. What I'm against is when you learn something, you should also find a balance in it. As a designer, I can confidently tell you that having knowledge of coding is necessary. Like, absolutely necessary. You don't need to have high level, to be honest. You understand? I'm telling you this for free as a previous front end dev. Yes, I started as front end way back 2018, transitioned in 2020. So yes, I can tell you this confidently. I have only been a junior professionally in 2018 and 2019. And over the course of the years, even when I transitioned as a designer, I never started as a junior designer because I carried that same experience as a dev who built, you understand, and transitioned to the next part. Now, the transitional part was intended. I wanted to be more in control of the things I build, rather than just coding out what I see. So yeah, these are the advantages. Now, how do you build your team? Now, first of all, you have to pick one discipline and you have to commit to mastering it. Now, read articles, read books, they are necessary. A lot of people are not good with reading. They just feel like seeing visuals is alone. Now, sometimes you also need to educate yourself on something. Practice deliberately. I understand everybody wants to make money, you understand, but practicing deliberately is very important. Do hard projects to push yourself out there. I always tell my mentee this, some of them are probably on this call, that if you want to get a job now, your portfolio may not be enough. Because in the case of where you're having that interview, they'll probably want to ask you to provide a full design project. Are you confident enough to showcase a full design project? It doesn't have to be a live one. It could be a Fox one. You understand? It doesn't have to be a live one. The main thing there is most of these guys are trying to know, is this person someone I can bring into the company and will be able to build a full product for us? Or it just snapshot designs that you can post on Dribble that you're familiar with. You understand? Because as a designer, all your designs can be fine. There will be a point where your designs become uniform, uniform, uniform. You even get bored. You understand? I'll be more of a product person and building products, web app, and mobile apps, and the rest than even building websites. But it doesn't mean I've lost the skill in creativity at that point. You understand? Now, another important thing people don't understand is you don't need to be a mentor in order to impact knowledge. You can just be a teacher. When you learn something today, you teach others. You understand? Why teaching others? It propagates that knowledge for you forcefully. Yes. At that time when I was in uni, there were things that a lecturer would just teach. I just gather a few knowledge of it, and then I will hurry and go and teach my colleague. Sorry, will I call them colleagues? And professional lifestyle is something. So I teach my classmate, and then I'll tell them that, oh, this is how the lecturer said it, this is how I did. And at the point where I'm teaching them, I'm relearning. Now, this is one of the things people underrate. Teaching someone just because you don't know it doesn't mean anything. It's also an opportunity for you to relearn. You understand? So don't underrate that I need to be an expert before I can teach. No, you don't have to be an expert. But please try and teach the right thing. That's also another important thing. And the final part of it is actually getting feedback from people who are better than you. Stop getting feedback from people who want to clap for you. Yeah, I'm not saying you should get feedback from those painful souls. Yes, according to painful souls, you drop a very good design as a budding designer, and before you know it, they are already telling you what you shouldn't be hearing at your young age in design. No, those are not the kind of people I'm asking. I'm talking about you reach out to people directly if possible. Hey Ben, can you help me review this? What can I do? What is the next step to take here? Can I get a good feedback? Yes, now those are the kind of people you reach out to, you get feedback from them. Your feedback don't always have to be design. You understand? It could be something more related, text related. It doesn't always have to be design all the time. It could be career wise. Now, in the breadth side, that's horizontal bar, what are the things you need to learn? You need to have good knowledge, basic knowledge as a designer for HTML and CSS. Understanding a bit on analytics. It is quite important. As you can see me here, during my master's period last year, I was able to, I don't know, I won't say I was able to, I excelled well in data analytics and data visualization. And now, despite excelling well in this, I didn't still transition. You know, I only took it as knowledge. You understand? I got the opportunity to build a lot of things. I saw a different space entirely. That is in the data side. I enjoyed it. It was fun. But I still went back to being a designer. You understand? Now, there are also other things you should be very good at. I understand some people here can be timid. Some people here can be quiet when talking. But you also need to learn how to communicate. I swear to God, it's not that hard. Yes, it can be stressful at one point, but it's not hard. Communication is a very important key for you to succeed in the workspace because while communicating, it is what builds collaboration. You understand? And the most important part is being able to ask questions on how to approach things. If you don't ask questions and just assume, yeah, you're not even the one assuming. Your team lead will probably assuming you know it all the time because you don't ask questions. Also, shadow specialist. I think that is the final part when it comes to learning, being able to shadow specialist. Spend time with developers, product managers, and marketers, especially if you are someone who is just starting. You understand? Just spend time with them just randomly because obviously you may not have so much doing at that point. So that you have a lot of free time. How do they work in the big companies? How do they function? I've given some of my mentees an opportunity to see how I work. You understand? And it has been a very good thing for them because when they get their first job, they don't struggle. They don't stay timid trying to progress. Yes, they don't do any of that. I won't say they don't have bad times, but yeah, when they do, they reach out to me. Yeah, so I would advise that this month you should identify your depth, which is very important, and then figure out which one you're exceptional at. Are you good at visual design? Are you good at being an illustrator? Are you good at being a researcher? Are you good at being a data scientist? You pick one. Now, you then pick two complementary skills that matches it up and then learn it to a 70 to 60 competency level. So, for example, if you chose product design, that means you need to have good knowledge on business analytics, data analytics, and also front end development, a bit on back end too. Now, having just small knowledge on all these things will give you a strong boost in your primary career as a product designer. The same thing goes for others. You can't choose to be an illustrator and then you don't know basics in what do I use? Maybe the color part. No, I'm not really familiar with that, but let me just stick to my product. Yeah, so I'll just stick to product. So either being a product designer or UI UX designer, it's very important. Even if you skip analytics in data or business, at least you need to have knowledge for front end. It's very, very important. Now, yes, career isn't linear. You can clearly see my career path as a developer, once a co-founder. Oh yeah, I also did a bit on journalism before I then went to being a designer. And then also got involved in enterprise UX. I spent almost 2 years on that before I transitioned to crypto and also healthcare. Yeah, being a master student, which I graduated this year, and then a product designer again. Now, each product I built, it was always new things to learn, new knowledge to pass out. Yes, I always build to learn and pass out this knowledge. I don't hoard them. I'm always joy to share out what I learn, no matter how little it is. I even find out that those little things are actually a huge impact for other people out there. You understand? So I would not always assume that those things are little anymore. In fact, I don't call them little. You understand? They are always big, depending on the person who asks. So for aspiring designers, oh my God, sorry, it's taken. So for aspiring designers, if you are trying to get into it, what I advise you is quite simple. Try and make a research on design itself. There are really bunch of categories in design. Don't be scared. You understand? Take your time and make your research. Don't look at the money aspect. I can tell you this, all of them are giving you that bag. Whether it's graphic designer, UI UX designer, product, illustrator, 3D artist, and the rest, they all are going to give you what you're looking for. Don't undermine one over the other. I noticed a trend 2 weeks ago, or was it last week, on Twitter, that's now X, where people were undermining graphic design and all. I was quite disappointed with that. Yes, now graphic design is literally like a foundation. In fact, it's like the daddy of them all. Yes, now without graphic design, I'm sure there are even more graphic designers out there who have built more amazing websites than product designers themselves. Yes, now, so this is something that people have underrated a lot. And I just hope that while trying to choose the right part of design course to go with, you should also make your research. You can also try and reach out to mentors out there, people who have experience in this things. Ask them questions. How do I go about this? Um, what are his structures? Yeah, some of these mentors have structures that you can follow. Like me myself, I do have some structure that I follow. So let me say between the first 2 months of you being a designer, I'll recommend you learning some US courses. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of telling you to go and start with Figma. Yeah, so I'm going to be telling you to go and study, read, understand UX. Yes, these are most of the things I would like you to understand. Once you understand the fundamentals, maybe between your third month and fourth month, I'll be telling you to pick a website to redesign one or two flows. I'm not telling you to redesign the whole product. Rather, I'll tell you to pick a website or a web app and redesign the whole flow. Now, those kind of flows could be checkout process from an e-commerce website or a sign-up experience from a fintech platform, or even a search function, not something as simple as Google, maybe a search function from platforms like FreePick. Yes, now those are the things I will tell you to make a design on. Then you document your thinking process, what's the problem, who the users are, what are you trying to achieve, and what do you design and why. Now, in month 5 and 6, I'll be looking at you pushing out your product publicly. Yes, you not just push out designs, you also push out LinkedIn posts. you write articles. It's necessary you write articles. Now, these articles doesn't necessarily be about educating someone on something. It could also be those processes you have written. You can push them out there. You share your process, or maybe you write about a functionality that happens on WhatsApp that you want to improve, and then you write all the process, all your thinking process that you must have compiled. You push it out there. These are things you consider. Then maybe in the month 7 to 9, you do it all over again. But this time around, you'll be designing multiple products. You understand? Maybe a huge product, bigger screens, multi screens, if possible, could be full-fledged platforms as well. Now, in month 10 to 12, I will now be looking at you applying for junior roles and internship. Yeah, so this is at this point, I believe that you're ready. Yes, but then again, it doesn't mean by month 5 and 6 you may not be ready. You understand? Job can come in anytime. You understand? But it wouldn't be a case where I would say I can confidently say between month 10 to 12 you could be ready, or it could be depending on how fast you are. You understand? Because everybody have different learning processes. Some may spend 1 week on something that another person spend 3 weeks. So I consider all this while trying to communicate with my mentees one way or the other, especially those who reach out to me directly and ask for a guide. You understand? Not all of them come in because of one kind of guidance on the other. Some in for resume, some come in for portfolio reviews, some come in to prepare ahead of interviews, and many more. So these are something I always look out for aspiring designers, also expert designers as well. I also have them on my list. All right, so that brings us to considering designs and here the truth. Oh, I already spoke on that. So yes, we have the personal career advice. So these are for the early stage. So we have 0 to 2 years. This is early career. And then we have 3 to 5 years for mid career, and senior level is from 5 years. So I already told you at the earlier part of this presentation that a lot of people out there carry seniors and they barely 2 years in the experience. And I don't blame them anyway. Their design may look good, you understand, but are they really pushing out the right thing? You understand? Because they are more pixel focused, and then they feel like just because they have good design, they are senior enough or they are mid level enough. So in most cases, I always advise my mentees don't put those level things in your head. You're a product designer, you're a product designer. You are a UX designer, you're a UX designer. You understand? You will definitely be a junior at those starting points in your career. You understand? But that shouldn't be your focus. You understand? You shouldn't even be spelling it out there that, oh, I'm a junior designer. No. You don't even have to spell it out there that you're mid-level. People should be the one even thinking or assuming what level you fall up. You understand? All you have to be pushing out there is your experience, the things you've built. You understand? Those are what defines you. Someone asked me, when do I know if I'm senior enough? Now this was a very hard question for me because even I myself, I don't even think I'm senior enough. I still see myself in that mid-level POV. You understand? But I still, obviously, company I work in sees me as senior. I obviously have to accept that role. But rather than to avoid that whole senior conversation, I just assume a lead role. Yeah, I'm a leader. Yes, I do manage. I take care of them. I see them as my kids. I don't see them as my equal. No, I don't see them as my equal. I see them as people who I cherish. You understand? I see them as people who flourish, not just for themselves, but also for the company. You understand? These are things that you as a leader, you will see. There are times when you have to carry them in your back, and there are some times where you have to let them walk. Now, this is what defines you as a senior. Now, cases where presentations are going on, and one of your junior is presenting during the stand-up. At the senior, you are supposed to give that junior some time of respite to present. Now, when you start seeing a bit of fault, you come in politely and defend them. You come in politely and defend. You don't come in there to shield them because they didn't understand it. You come in there making them, if in fact it increases their confidence level every time next time they want to have a presentation during stand-up. And this is something I've done for the past 3 years with the junior designers I've worked in. I can't even call them junior designers because they always say they see themselves as junior designers while working with me. You understand? And outside our circle, they see themselves more like mid-levels. I was like, I don't get. You understand? So according to one of my favorite person, her name is Favor, She said that while she's outside Apex, among her peers, she's always looked like the best. You understand? And maybe one of the effect there is because she has worked with me for a very long time. She see how I work, realize that stuff like design management, design organization, a lot of designers out there actually fail woefully at it. You understand? And also other things, maybe when it comes to communication, how they design, the developers have given me mighty praises on that part, and not just my junior designers alone. So these are things she has learned from me, and she has been pushing it out there, not just for the company, but also for herself. So if you are early, you have to take time. You have to be very diverse. Don't be single focused on, oh, I want to work with this industry alone. You also have to consider other kinds of industry. Don't just stay focused to fintech because fintech is the only one. Make yourself available. Give yourself an opportunity to do some things for free. Yes, I understand Nigeria is going through a lot. I understand maybe a certain country you are in is going through a lot and you don't have that room to create free things. I'm telling you this for free. I have built about 10 products for free. Yes. And I've reaped from at least more than half. And that is something. I did it. I could do it, but obviously now I can't build things for free. Or rather, I give the guys around me an opportunity to learn. Yes. Now being a mid-level, this is a part where you must have gained that experience you are looking for. You must have maybe had more deeper tone in understanding design itself. I can tell you this for free. Within 3 to 5 years, there are some designers out there that still behave like early starters. And it's quite disappointing. You understand? And then I also have designers out there who behave more like celebrities more than product builders. You understand? There are those who just go around trying to push you understand, because they are making that money from one company that was fortunate to hire them. No, don't fall for those traps. See your job as a job. Don't see your job as an opportunity for you to become a celebrity tomorrow. You are not posting work out there because you want to get likes. Always post that work out there because you want to get that job. You want to get reviews. Those are the things you need to consider every day as a designer. Remember, you are not the only profession that exists. Doctors are out there. You don't see them posting on LinkedIn 247 because they are looking for a job. You should also position yourself in that manner as well. Not everything has to be outside. I know a couple of friends who has lost their job because they wanted to showcase work. Basic things like reading, trying to understand some kind of document that companies have put out there that, oh, we shouldn't have our work out there. They just don't read. And those are things Nigerians especially struggle in foreign companies. They tend not to read most of these regulations set out for them. And this is something I am putting out there right now that for every document company provide, do well to read them. It is very essential. You should know the kind of things you can put out and the things you can't put out. Just because you design them does not mean you have intellectual property to putting them out there. That also goes to using of AI as well. Just because I said you can use AI to develop this and that does not mean you need to carry your company's code base as a developer or your company's UI as a designer and put it on ChatGPT because you want to get information. No, no, no. That is pure zero. It's not good. I won't even advise that. So you don't end up feeding ChatGPT to feed others. Please, these are things you need to. This is a very big disclaimer. I wish I mentioned it earlier, but I'm saying it now, and it's very essential. Don't put company product out there, or especially on those AI platforms. I'm telling you, those that just giving free knowledge, you understand, and free building in public. Yes, essential AI tools you should be familiar with. I've been mentioning them. ChatGPT, you have Cloud, you have Gemini, you have Relium. So Relium is for potentially building UI structures, especially for now, they are still on websites. So it can essentially build wireframes for you and hi-fi of those wireframes. Now, Figma, on the other hand, has always been AI focused. So for the past 2 years, Figma have been AI focused and where they introduced Figma Make, yeah, which has been a very, and they also have web as well. So when you build on Figma Make, you're able to launch on web. And then we have one of the most popular product of the year, Frama. The Frama has been known for its aesthetic and also has AI too. And it does an amazing job in those places where Figma, I feel, is still lacking a lot. And that is animation, Yeah, that's always been the animation part of it. And then we have Notion. So I'm a big fan of Notion when it comes to documentation, planning. We have Notion and Trello. Also, there was a last guy here, but I forgot to add it. It's ClickUp. So either use ClickUp or you can use Notion or Trello. It's good for your planning. As a designer, you need to have plan. You need to know what you're going to do the next day. You need to know what you're going to do for the next 1 month. If you are just going with the initial gaga, as they call it, I'm sorry for you, that's not how it's going to work, and you will not progress properly. So you need to make sure that you follow a proper planning. That is the way to move forward, not just as a designer, but as a professional in general. Yes, all these tools I've mentioned here are very essential for any profession. Maybe aside the guys in the middle, you understand, but the ones at the top and the ones on the bottom, they are all good. I won't say you should pick ChatGPT over Cloud or Gemini over this. I believe each of them functions their own way. You may like this, you may like that. Instead, just pick one that you can afford. Because now the free things may not really doesn't really last. So in most cases, I advise if you can pay for it. Yes, thank you. So for the final thought, we AI change our industry, obviously, it's already doing that. I'm sure you've been hearing a lot of people are losing their job one way or the other. When new tools and technology emerge, yes, even right now as I'm speaking to you, there are some there's even an AI product I'm building on my own end, which will also be among those major talks. You understand? And then with the bar keep rising, of course, without questions, going to keep rising. So don't just stay there. Always keep learning. It's very, very important. Because if you stay in one place, you stay stagnant and believe that, oh, it's just hype. No, it's not hype. You just get lost. You understand? And everybody's just going to be ahead of you. I just hope you wouldn't be part of those people that will fall under that category. All right. So thank you very much. I think that is all for me. And
All
yeah.
right.
Ah,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Benjamin. Thank you
uh,
so much. If you've been following Benjamin and everything that he's been saying, please just drop any reaction so that we'll be sure that you're still following us up till this very moment. I can see only Esther clapping. Is the only Esther that we have on this call? I can see Odunayo, can see Don. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, Benjamin have almost covered every single thing that we have to talk about in the panel session. So Esther, I don't know what you want to speak about right now because Ben has almost said about every single thing that we've itemized to discuss. But the next stage we have right now is we'll jump into the panel session, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and we should be done. And it's just for us to, ask some specific question so that Esther can also give her own view, Ben can also give her own view, and then we are going to all be able to understand. Okay, Ben, please put your camera back on, put it on. We love to see your face. It's very, very important. All right, so that when people also reach out to you, they will know who exactly that they are speaking to. Okay, Ben, are you there? I think we lost Ben.
yeah. Yes, yes. Oh, why is it clicking 2 times? Yeah, I'm here.
All
Yes,
right, because I'm trying to pin the three of us on the screen while we jump right into this conversation now. Because spotlight that extra, let me spotlight you as well, Ben. Okay, add spotlights. Yes, and myself. Okay, fantastic. So if you are just joining us, please, let's make sure that we fill the attendance form because Ben has shared a lot and you may have missed one or two things in the events that you didn't join early. But in that attendance form, after this conversation, we're going to share the slide that Ben used, our own slide, and also the recorded version of this conversation with every single person that filled that form. So we're going to jump right into the panel discussion. And if you have any question, just feel free, keep it somewhere. You're going to ask your own question once we are done with the entire discussion. All right, hope we are ready, Ben and Esther. We're ready to jump right into it, right?
okay.
Esther, I think you are muted because we are about to start with you because we heard Ben speak and speak. So let's start with you, Esther. And I want us to, sort of set the stage first. So Esther, can you just give us a quick, snapshot of your journey into product design and how it has evolved over the years? Okay, how's your journey been? Have you been a teacher before? Now, for instance, me, I studied civil engineering. I used to work in the banking sector. I've worked in construction before I moved to banking, but today I'm the CEO of a tech company. All right, so let's hear your own journey today because today is not about me, it's about you and Benjamin. So over to you, Esther.
Okay. So for me, it was straight out of school, like straight from school actually. I studied computer science from my bachelor's, so lots of computers. I had to like figure something to do. Eventually, okay, I started with like front end because there were a lot of coding guys doing HTML, CSS. And then I got stuck with JavaScript and then I moved to design. And I found design interesting, like graphic design specifically. So I started doing all the logos and everything. All right, Photoshop actually, Photoshop and Illustrator. That was like my own design and all those Corel Draw tools. Then I eventually got introduced to like the community because I learned there was like a community in my school then, and it was Figma they were using. I mean, that was the first time I even like heard about the fact that these applications we use were designed. So it was really interesting for me. I figured if this is something that can be done as a career, this is what I want to do. So I started learning. So I started from learning the tool, learning Figma, before actually learning what design, like products and everything, which is not what I recommend now because starting from Figma created a lot of knowledge gaps in terms of UX. You have to like actually understand a lot of basics, fundamentals, and everything. And it's not just the tool, because it's easy to like learn the tool, right? The main thing is like what you're doing with that tool. So I started from the tool and eventually lots of YouTube courses and everything. I picked the pace. And my first job was like an internship in like 2020. And then I got into HNG, just doing a lot of things. But I've particularly just enjoyed startups. I've particularly enjoyed startups, like being able to start from scratch has always been like a very interesting thing to me. Although recently, like I'm kind of changing that ideology, looking into bigger techs and bigger companies. But I've mostly done worked with startups over the years. Some of them made it, some closed halfway, like the stories with startups. But yeah, proud of the ones that have made it. So over the years, I've just been like exploring different tools. Like even in this AI sector, I've tried like a lot of image generation tools like the UIZ, Galileo, and all those other popular ones I've been seeing out there, exploring a lot of them. But so far, my my major interest has been in like the SaaS industry, like building softwares that serve people, right? Not just e-commerce and all those ones. Like I've mostly picked interest in SaaS products. So most of the products I've been working on lately are around like SaaS, software as a service, like softwares where like there are different systems working together. And so far, I don't know if there's anything I'm missing, but that's kind of where I am right now. And in my master's, I started a master's program. I don't know if I've mentioned, I should be done by next year. I started this year just in a bit to like learn better about communication and everything. Because in my previous company, I worked with this like YC company. My boss was always talking about communication, communication, over communicates, lots of communication things. So there were also like a lot of I wanted to also like be built up in the terms of like strategy, business and everything. So I started like this master's program and everything. And that's what I've been like doing so far. Not exactly working full time because I still get to like work with startups on the side, like through my design studio. But outside that, that's kind of what I've been up to lately or have like evolved from my bachelor's days down to like 5 years designing and everything.
All right. Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you so much, Esther. So Esther has evolved from several roles, starting with from Photoshop, CorelDRAW, and then moving into actual product design. So thank you so much, Esther. Let's hear about you, Ben. How have your own journey been? Did you study computer science as well?
Yes, I did. Well, not science, engineering. Yeah, so I did computer engineering and I graduated 2018. So I actually acquired the front end skill from way back 2017. I used it for my final year project where I did an inpatient platform for my final year project. And then after graduation, I joined a team where I wanted to work on a startup. So it was an e-commerce platform where they sell car spare parts. So it was called ladipomarket.com.ng. It's obviously still active till now. So we decided to push out our ideas there. We got an opportunity to do that with Heritage Bank. And we came out as runner-up for the program in which they set out there. But unfortunately, the whole thing crashed out. It wasn't the startup that crashed out. It was the crash out between us and Heritage Bank, the investors. To be honest, I really hated them during that period. I'm even happy I heard they've crashed completely. I think that's one of the best news I heard last year or this year. Yeah, it's good riddance of that bank. Yeah, so moving forward in my career, I still had my development skills. I moved over to Abuja at that period. I was serving. Company needed more of a more of a designer than a dev. And obviously I had to think fast. I started learning a couple of Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and then within a month or two, I started pushing out designs for the company. And over that period, COVID happened. Yeah, COVID happened. So I'm not going to explain the job I did during COVID. It's going to be funny hearing it here. But then, so during that same time frame when COVID happened, that was when I came across UI UX design as a term. I didn't really understand it then. I've always seen it, but I didn't know it had a word. You understand? Because I always do it as a dev. You understand? But I didn't really like understand it was a word like UI UX or something. And then I ventured into it. I learned from a University of Minnesota, and they offered their sponsorship. What do they call it? Like, I won't call it scholarship, but it was more like learning for about 6 months. So during that 6 month time, I was able to learn a bit on UI UX. Purely UI UX. I mean UX, no UI. You understand? I didn't even know anything about Figma myself. So moving forward, I decided that I needed to learn the UI part of it, and I didn't really struggle with that because I already had the design knowledge. You understand? And boom, I was already on my first job in 2021. SBSC, it was a digital agency. I got all hands experience with bunch of professionals. I worked with front end, back end, QAs, PMs, and many more, even BA. So I got to work with all of them in multiple projects. At my very early stage there, they dunked me on tons of product. I think my first stage started with the health. So I worked on what they call internal management platforms for hospitals. I did about three. One was for Lagos State Teaching Hospital. Another was for two private hospitals, I think in Keja or Ikoyi and stuff like that. And then obviously I was pushed into the next project, which was more on school management. So I also did school management platform, the one we use for checking results, for putting in assignments and the rest. Yeah, I was also involved in working on that kind of project. I did most of these things, and we always have to push them out as early as possible. So I worked under a very intense pressure within a year and a half while working with them. Yeah, I was completely exhausted. I think that's one of my biggest excuses, and I wasn't fully appreciated, and I left the company. So I decided that I needed to push product that people could use, just like a lady here said, SAS kind of product, and yeah, something like that. And yes, that's how I jumped into Apex Network, a crypto company. I was not even a big fan of fintech. You understand, or anything finance related. I had no idea. You understand, but I saw a different light with Apex, and yeah, that's how my whole career went up. And then from there, I started getting into mentorship sessions with other designers who wanted to start as designers, some who were already designers. I also decided to go to boot camps as well and disguise myself as someone who was starting. That I also did that because I also wanted to learn. I'm a big fan of learning and relearning, but it seems to be my skills couldn't even hide it. And from that, I also had an opportunity to get like other mentees. I think that's where I got my first two mentees at that point. They are already amazing designers. I'm going to give them a shout out. And one of them is Afolabi. He's currently working at Kuda Bank. And the other one is working with me at Legal Templates. His name is David. Yes, they're my two favorite. So I don't, like I said, I don't always see most of my mentees as maybe my mate. I see them as friends. You understand? They're always going to be my friend. And then for the likes of work, yeah, I'll see those ones as my children. You understand? Not as my friend, but yeah. So I left the country 2023. I still had my job with Apex Networks at that time. And yeah, I decided to take on a master program for computing science. So it was just like a second level for it. I graduated this year. So within that time frame, I got a job here in the UK. They were involved in merchandise sales, so mechs where they do for companies for onboarding staffs and the rest. And yeah, that's what is going on for me now. And that legal template that started in December. Like I said, I was just more like a contractor with them. You understand? I came there, did tons of revamp for them. So I work mostly on contract basis with them. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Benjamin. I think we lost Esther because I was about to actually call her up for the next question that we have. All right. Please, Arafat, let's check if she's in the audience so that we can also bring her back up. Okay, I think she just joined back right now. Please, Arafat, let's bring her up again so that we can, continue. Okay, if you are just joining us, we've already shared a lot of good deeds today. Okay, we've already shared a lot of good deeds, and we're just going to jump right into asking Esther one question so that she can also give you Rema with regards to this. So Esther, with regards to the topic that we have for today, which is AI and future of design, what comes to your mind when you hear about this AI and the future of design? Should we be scared? Should anybody be scared? Should we run away from design entirely? Yeah, the floor is yours, Esther.
Okay, so Benjamin has like covered a lot. I think what I want to add there is that, like in agreements, we shouldn't be scared, all right? Because I mean, AI is still evolving. It might get to the stage where it becomes like really advanced, maybe start thinking like humans and everything. But it's not something we should be scared about because I don't know if anyone remembers when Canva started. Um, uh, um, Founders were going to Canva to, get flyers. Like there were lots of hype around it, even on social media when you tell someone this flyer is this amount, and then I'm like, oh, something I can do on Canva, right? But that wave like eventually disappeared. So the thing here is that it's not something for us to be scared about because if you're staying one step ahead, that's it's just kind of opening doors for us to um think better, right? Think bigger, like do better. Like I feel like flyers back then used to be like really basic. I'm just using this as a case study thing. Used to be like really basic. But when we got to the era where AI is now generating flyers and everything, you see that people are still hiring graphic designers, but not for the kind of designs that AI can generate, right? So if you're that designer that probably stayed back, still doing that basic level kind of flyer, put this together. Oh, you have this flyer. You realize that you've lost the job. Like you won't be getting the clients and everything. So people are like moving a notch to like the really, 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 really complex creativity that AI has not gotten to yet. So I don't think it's something for us to be scared of. It's just like it's something we should see as an opportunity, right? Something that helps us visualize faster, automate repetitive tasks and get better directions, idea, make creativity faster, right? But that human touch, like that human thinking, AI is not there yet, right? And even if it gets there, humans will always be needed to differentiate between like the ethical part of things, to differentiate between what works and doesn't work. Like in the previous company I used to work with, we were innovating heavily on AI. And one of the tasks that I had to do there, I had to think of different use cases for the AI, right? So now we had like the AI in it, but now the designer there had to like think of the different use cases where AI is predicting behaviors, how it responds to this person, and all those small models and everything. So AI cannot do the entire thinking for us. It can help us with the creativity, ideas. It can't do the entire thinking for us. But if you stay at the level where you're just doing like the bare minimum, right? AI will take your job, and designers using AI can't take your job, right? That's kind of like the perspective I have on this topic, because you just need to like be one step ahead. If there are tools you need to learn to augment, right? You start learning those tools, because now just knowing how to use Figma, knowing how to do this is not enough, right? I always another reference that I would give is that when when I started out design, kind of designs I used to see, right, from like junior designers and everything, they were like really basic level, like, but right now I see some designers starting out online, and I see the designs they post, and then she'll be like, oh, I started last year. And I'm like, wow, right? So when you start kind of thinking in that mindset, you're not just trying to like learn the bare minimum to get a job, right? You're trying to compete in the global market and everything. You're going to take it a step ahead, and AI won't even be a problem. AI is just there to like help you augment the process and everything. And even when companies, I've been in an interview, right? Even when where a company is asking how you're using AI, how you're using to facilitate the process and everything, right? You just like walk them through it and stuff like that. But so far you're just like leaning more into the strategy and the thinking and leveling up heavily, right? I don't think you should be worried about AI, because jobs are still coming out, people are getting hired, and it's always going to be that way.
All right. Thank you so much, Esther. So Esther mentioned a lot of things. I hope everyone is writing down the way I am writing down as well. She said that we should see AI as something to make creativity faster, as well as
Yeah.
humans will always be needed to add the human element to design. Okay. So that brings me to the question I have for Benjamin. So Benjamin, how do we keep designs human-centered in this AI-driven environment? That's taking a cue from what Esther mentioned. How do we now keep our designs to be human-centered in this era of AI environments?
Well, I think I've gotten like an answer towards that before. Yeah, so as a designer or as a professional, you shouldn't get to the level where the AI is smarter than you. Yeah, so the moment the AI is smarter than you, I think that already removes anything human-centered. You understand? Anything it's generating, like I said, it's hallucination. No matter how awesome, smooth, sleek, beautiful the generation comes out. Um, if you are not the one creating, you should always see yourself as the creator. Don't see yourself as just the person accepting. You should see yourself more like the creator. Why it's just a generator. As long as you keep seeing it as a generator, yeah, I think it stays human centered. You don't want to see a case where I think one of the most vulnerable things now with is hyphens. I'm a big fan of writing hyphens, but ever since the AI hype, now I have to I have
Exactly.
to I have to use commas, I have to use semicolons and the rest to avoid someone telling me, like this guy has used AI for all this thing. Oh, and some people even forget that I don't even abbreviate conversations that I have. You understand? Most of the times my conversations are always full. And even sometimes maybe when I'm using writing pigeon or something like that. But in most cases, over the years, conversation to me has always been in full. You understand? So these are the things. There will be tons of misconceptions passing around these days now, maybe on TikTok or Instagram and maybe X and others, you see tons of videos out there that are just looking so good. Do you know 2 years ago they weren't that good? Just 2 years. AI just used 2 years and they have started perfecting videos. So I saw some videos where a full blown animation was done. I I was flabbergasted at this point. Like, really, was it AI? And at some point, I was like, I need to up my game. I need to up my game in deciphering most of these things because how? Just now we have VO3, we have the banana tool that have been trending all over. Everyone now is looking so professional on my WhatsApp status. I'm like, then I'm not looking at below, I'm seeing the watermark. I see. It's getting there. And they're looking so good. Just last year, I could not get an exact picture for AI. Like maybe I generated something. I tell it, update this thing for me. Now. Well, now I can. The way I am, I take a picture and tell AI that I need this thing in green, I need a very good background, and you get it. You understand? So the human centered will always be there as long as you're wise. Please just try and make sure that the AI doesn't become smarter than you. I think that's one of the most important thing there. And also, human centered doesn't mean if you tell AI hello, hi, nah, that's not it at all. Saying hello, hi doesn't really help you. Now, another good thing that I don't always talk about when it comes to usage of AI is actually putting your personality inside. Now, yes, I have my entire personality inside AI. Yeah, you're able to do that with what do they call it? With creating folders, or I think they call it project, maybe Cloud or Gemini, but obviously it has to be a paid version. So what happens is that I put a lot of things, my knowledge base, whether it's an entire biography about myself, maybe my resume, and many other things. Now, when I start to drop in questions, it acts like me. You understand? Now it answers like me. Now this is me creating a personality of myself inside AI. And the cool part is I start enjoying it more when the two biggest AI tool out there, Cloud and what do they call it? Gemini. Is it Gemini? No. Cloud and ChatGPT. I won't put Gemini there. They are not there yet. Understand? They start having memories. People don't even know what this memory is. Memory is a big changer. You know what it means to have your Figma, maybe your Figma chart filled up, and then you have to go to a new page and start an entire new conversation. Do you know how stressful that is? But now with memory, I can get the information I've had on my previous chat, link it up to other pages as many times as possible. It remembers everything. In fact, the new memory update they did is even more amazing than the initial one I started with. I can carelessly now at this point open as many pages as I want and start different kinds of conversations there, and it's able to save those memories. Obviously memory is not unlimited. Let me put that out too. You have to, delete some unnecessary ones or keep those important ones as well. Now, this is also something you can do for yourself, especially those who have paid plan. I don't know if it's available on free. I have not used free in like 2 years. I don't even know how it looks like. So I have to apologize for those using free one. Understand? But for those who are using paid, you can build an entire personality of yourself. I would have loved to show you, but I'm not showing. Sorry. Sorry about that. I'm not showing that. I'm just going to say it. This is recorded, so you can always watch it over and try it yourself. There's a part there called project. Maybe on cloud is called project. Also, maybe on ChatGPT is called project. Put bunch of stuff about yourself. A lot. You understand? I think I'm even so easy now to find on the internet. You understand? But obviously, that was not due to AI anyway. That was due to Google itself. You understand? I'm easy to find both by my nickname or by my full name. And then you see like me on the first 10 pages. If possible, I mean the first 10 listing. If not, the entire pages from you 1 to 3. And the reason for that is also the kind of information I've been putting out there as a person and how consistent I have been with my brand. I'm obviously not the only person behind Benjamin Onyewuchi. But if you write my full name, yes, you will see me. You won't just see me on the search side. You will see me on the image side. So this also comes to me pushing my entire personality on the internet as well. I think this is something everyone out there should also try. For those who are already doing it, that's amazing. For those who don't know, yeah, you can start. You can start with the AI part, and then maybe you can start building your personal brand out there as well. Yep, that's
All
it.
right. Thank you so much, Benjamin. I hope we are all listening and we are all getting what is being shared right now. Please, if you are just joining us, do well to fill the attendance form that my colleagues are dropping in the comment section so that you have access to the recorded version of this conversation and also the slide that we're using for the conversation. All right, so Esther, coming to you next. I mean, we all work from different continents. Okay, so how does cultural context, shape the way you approach some design experience? So when you're trying to embark on a new UX design, how does the cultural context, shape the way that you approach that exact design?
Okay. So I don't know if anyone here has heard about the number 4 in China being related to something about death. So 24, 40, anything that has to do with 4, it's like avoided in their interfaces and everything, right? So the thing is, you can only like make the design global, like if you kind of locally make it relevant, and that's where like culture comes in, right? Um, I mean it I think it's something that I recently came across like doing like this my master's program, like how huge culture can be in terms of user experiences because different cultures, different user behaviors. So the thing is, in different like if you're designing for um a specific audience, right? It's very important to like understand the audience, understand um what they like, and that's where user research comes in. If you're going to design like culturally relevant stuff, you have to like research heavily, like lots of articles, speak to people, know what works in their culture, right? Know what doesn't work because you cannot be designing for a Nigerian audience, for like the Chinese audience or like the US audience. There's something called collectivist and individualistic cultures, right? How people perceive UIs, how people perceive even flyers and everything from different cultures is different. So personally, I just tend to rely heavily on research, right? Rely heavily on research to like see what this culture likes, right? So making it as intuitive as possible based on their culture, like things like understanding like the kind of colors, like I mentioned that thing about China and 4, meaning death, right? The color, the patterns, the trust signal. Say you're designing like a payment platform, right? And like there are examples where mobile first platforms is not like their unique like cultures where mobile first platforms is not like their choice, right? So they're always like heavy on the web and everything. So it's just like understanding of it, like, and I think it's also something I should recommend. It wasn't something I was conscious of initially, right? But it's also something I would recommend if you're designing for, like, most of us, oh, I'm looking for a US gig. Oh, I just got this gig to design for UK and everything. It's very important because it can lose businesses money. It can cause more harm like than good. And that's when you understand that design starts moving away from how it looks like, it looks very beautiful and everything. And then you're able to like back up every design decision. You say, okay, this screen is designed this way because based on your research, this is how the Westerners prefer to have their designs and all those things. They like it minimalistic, so they're able to like scan this and that. Unlike in China, where they want to see everything like in detail and stuff like that. So it's just being culturally aware, like backed with a lot of research. I'm able to like tailor like the user experience, right, to that culture. And this is like very important. Like I don't think anybody should be missing out on it. And it's probably not taught enough because I mean I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't even seeing it a lot online when I was like starting out and everything. It wasn't much in like courses and all those things. But yeah, just being culturally aware, a lot of like backed by a lot of research can influence heavily on how you design your user experiences. I don't know if this answers the question or out of context or anything. Just
No,
kind of
it
put it.
answered it perfectly. It answered it perfectly. So, in summary, Esther said that we should actually be culturally aware. Because if you're trying to design something for someone in a different culture, you need to understand what their culture is saying and be able to speak to them from their own specific cultural context. All right. Thank you so much, Esther. So, to you also, Ben, I mean, I think this should be, second to the final question for everyone. How do you see product design? Okay, let me be sure that I have the question correct. So, what kind of experience or what kind of things do product designers need to expect in the next coming decade? All right, or let me rephrase. What kind of product or experiences would define the next decade of this product design industry?
Next 10 years. All
Yeah.
right. All right. If I want to look deeply into it, I feel at this point, product designers need to be more of, oh, no, let me come back. So I think we're missing one big point. So the question should be product designers in Nigeria or product designers in the Western world. Now,
Well, earlier when we joined this call, I think we have a lot of people from UK, US, Canada, Finland, Nigeria that joined the conversation. So we have people scattered across the globe on
yeah,
this
so
call.
I'm going to take two separate takes here. You understand? For the Western part, I think they are getting to its peak because in most cases we don't even have product designers they hire for new products. They mostly have product designers for existing products. There are a bunch of ideas, there are a bunch of apps out there. In fact, these days people just make funny looking apps. So there's someone is making an emotional app on maybe a few taps, and then you find it is already among Forbes under 30. And they're not really doing those groundbreaking apps anymore. I don't think there's anything groundbreaking they are doing here. You understand? I can tell you this for free. I think the focus where building still exists is internal. You understand? Building for companies will always exist. But you see the fact of building for users. I don't even see it at all. But the space that will never go down is the gaming side. So those designers who are in the gaming industries, they have it for life. There is no form of AI. I can say this again. There's no form of AI that's going to even cross path with them. So they will always and always keep using the AI as an assistive tool and nothing more. Because if you want to even generate characters, no way those characters are referenced from somewhere. The problem is a lot of this information that is on AI these days are from people's work. So there's no how AI is going to generate something for you that is unique. It came from somewhere. Now, the only way you can get something unique is if you create them yourself. So I don't even see it touching the gaming industry. But for those other side, we'll keep building the same thing all over and all over again. So I think it's at its peak. So now in the next 10 years, most of these product designers will be more of orchestrators. So it will be a case where the AI will be doing most of the work, and then we as the product designers will be defining where we'll be placing them. Now, you wouldn't have to take your time with a couple of guys anymore to be creating user flows. You probably do a couple of iterations and you have your user flow in seconds. Instant. The moment you are done with that, there will probably be a tool out there that you can carry out your entire user flow and build multiple screens on it. You know, and since you said 10 years, right, I think decade is 10, right? So
Yeah,
within 10 years, I'm sure someone out there will create something where your wireframe becomes a unique design. At this point, obviously, just 2 days ago, Schema allows you to integrate your design system on wireframe designs or basic designs. It now looks exactly like something that it was built by maybe your company and the rest. They're not far. Just give them 5 years. 5 years is enough, and we'll be having something flying. I'm pretty sure within that 5 years, a lot of designers out there, especially on the other side, will be scared. For those ones that will be scared, will definitely be scared. And those ones that know what is happening, yeah, they're going to take advantage of it and keep building. I've always told my juniors this. This is what they're hiring you for, not this. They're hiring you for this, and they'll keep hiring you for this. The minute you don't have this to offer, just forget it. You have lost that job. Your brain is what they need, not your hands. Your hands will do the job, but you need that thing on the head. And now let's go to my dear Africa in general. So design there is still a baby. Yeah, it's still a baby compared to what they call it, the Western world. Product design, not graphics. Product design, UX design. The eldest person in Nigeria, if he believes UI UX started in Nigeria when it started, should be at most 9 to 10 years. There shouldn't be anybody older than 10 years and telling me he's a UI UX designer purely. I don't think there's anybody that can tell me that confidently. You understand? Maybe 10. At least let me just give the person Christmas. 2 years. That's 12 years. You understand? That will tell me that, oh, they are more than 12 years as a UX designer. No. I think the max I've seen is 12 because it's still a baby. You understand? And there are tons of opportunity in Africa, and we have not even scratched the surface. I think people complain about how we are building fintech all the time, fintech this, fintech that. And like, seriously, do you know how many fintech apps that is in the UK? Do you know how many fintech you know how many fintech apps that's in the US? You don't even scratch. You have a population of 200 plus million, and you're complaining about Flutterwave, Paystack. They have like companies there that have like 10 payment gateways, 15 payment gateways, and many more. We don't even have enough payment gateway system to manage the amount of population we have. So we are not there yet. We have lots of opportunity to grow. Yeah, I understand. I'm going to blame the government too. Yes, the government has to take my own in this whole setting. Yes. I wish the government creates more room for infrastructure. Like a lot of us are self-made because we did not allow the government to define us. But thank you, this same government has allowed most of my friends lose their job because of one CBN regulation that they pushed out, one way or the other. I've seen a lot of businesses crumble because of one or two things. I was a very close friend to a company you guys may know, GoCada. Yeah, the CEO got murdered massacrally in the US at that period in time. Yeah, I don't know how to share backstory on how he became my friend, but yes, he's my friend. And I lost him. And the reason for that is I can confidently say why we lost the owner of GoCada at that time was because of the regulation that Lagos put in place. GoCada was not the first person pushing out for the bike hailing stuff. There was Max Okada. There were others before them, and they surprised the market by storm. They had amazing bike. They had amazing measures in place for customers. But what happened? Just one signature and one word, and the company crashed. Before you know it, they became what they call it, delivery. I knew it wasn't even going to last. Now I'm hearing I don't even know if they've gone down completely, or I do know they have gone down to a very large extent. Because who doesn't do delivery these days? I think anybody can start, just get like 4 or 5 bikes, register a business thing, and you're there. But the problem we have with most of these delivery guys is they lack accountability. Why is no one building a delivery platform to track bike guys? Why do I have to pay for a delivery guy? But this guy will go to 5 different places, pick up items, and then start delivering differently. They don't do that here in the UK. The courier asks for is the courier that is going to what they call it? It's going to deliver it immediately. You'll be tracking them there. You can't track anybody here. Maybe the other guys have put out a platform there, but it's still unstable. The only trackable platform I've seen so far are the likes of Uber and Bolt, and maybe InDrive and others. But how many is for Nigeria? I've also had an opportunity to build one. It's called Needy, and they are doing great, but they are not there yet. In fact, they are not close to what is already in Nigeria. Yes, and also another friend of mine who did Flex Ride also, or is it Flex Ride? They're also there. There's rooms, lots of rooms. So I don't even see our own thoughts. Like, oh, AI is this. I don't even think Nigeria should be thinking about that. They should be thinking about building more product. We don't have it. You understand? And more product means what? More jobs. Yes, but the problem is still back to the government. There is no enabling system for it. You understand? But yeah, the difference is too wide. And if we're talking about China and the rest, those guys are on another level. You understand? Their user experience, just like you said, everything is always in your front. You can even check a good example. We have OP. You understand? OP is a very good example when it comes to China's user experience. Man, no, I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of OP. You understand? They packing the whole entire thing, the whole features on the platform. No, no, no. I had other ways I could implement those things better. You understand? To ease the users' attention. You understand? OP genuinely did not survive because of their app. They survived because of the experience they were providing. You know how easy it is to make a bank account? I had my partner just to make a GT bank account so that I could do 1 or 2 transactions with her. She spent one good week. GT Bank, in case if you ever watch this video, I'm disappointed in you. I've been a big GT Bank person for 5 years. And for the first time, I was quite disappointed because how can someone spend 1.5 weeks to activate a bank account when I could do that with Kuda in what is 2 days? 1 day, and then the verification process takes less than a day. I've also been a big user of Kuda Bank. What makes you think you can't have other banks like the Kuda and the rest here? Yes, we can. It's just, unfortunately, the government, again, I'm going to blame them on this one. They are not doing a good job in giving us that room. We deserve that room. Designers are there. Designers are hungry. Developers are plenty. You understand? Those guys are taking multiple jobs. They'll always be there. They'll always be there. We're not there yet. Don't worry. But the only advantage is whatever those guys are already doing in the West, we can easily emulate them. But don't bring in what will not work in the market. Understand your own market and then put the right thing out there. You understand? And that is all.
All right. Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you so much, Esther. We almost towards the tail end of this conversation. So back to you, Esther, just in 30 seconds. Okay, in 30 seconds, what advice do you have for anyone that is looking to break into product design?
That is looking to break into product design. That's like start out.
Yes, the starters, yeah.
Okay.
30
So
seconds.
30 seconds. Oh my God. Oh my God. So if you're looking to break into product design, don't come with the mindset of let me quickly start earning. Because product design like is growing, it's like it's evolving like very quickly, right? You're not coming in like, initially you can say, oh, you learn design 1 month, 2 months, you additional websites and you're looking for clients and everything. Your key thing should be mastery. Like you should be your work should be so good, even as a starter, that experienced designers are seeing you. Because let's be honest, most designers, founders are always on the lookout for people who are like really good. Yeah, I mean their rates are not so high. That means you can easily get them on board and everything. So you have to be very good, right? The mindset of mastery, like nothing like beginner should be on your this thing. Like you have to come very prepared, and you worry about the money later because it will come. Like you earn so well. So that's like one key thing because it's very common among us.
All right. Thank you so much, Esther. So back to you, Ben. In 30 seconds, what advice do you have for anyone looking to break into product design?
Don't come. That's what I'll say. Yes. Don't come if you're yeah. It sounds just coming from me, but yeah, there are other professions out there, guys. Product design is not the starter and finisher. Please try other professions. I think these guys are here doing analytics, data analytics. Please try that too. You understand? Oh, wait. Were you expecting me to say you should come? No, no, no. Don't come. Yeah, man. Don't come. Nigeria doesn't have what it takes. But I think they have what it takes for other parts. You understand? But you see the product design, I'm not saying it's saturated or anything. You understand? If you want to come, don't put that mindset you're going to make money. I try for free. 0 naira, yes. I was doing some things freely. Yes, you heard the word freely. And if I even started earning something, it took me 2 years to convince my parents that I was actually doing something. Yeah, do you know what that 2 years was for? To show them that, oh, mommy, I'm not earning above 300. Oh, 300,000. My parents are business people. So 300,000 would be like nothing. People that are generating about 10 million a day or in a week. You understand? So when they hear their son is generating, they'll be like, as an Igbo person, like, nah, come shop. Like, come and do what's in the shop. Ah, you understand? Like, it was the point where they're like, is it that you drop this design you're doing or you come to the shop and stuff like that. So please do what you love. You understand? Yes, it could even be you being a TikToker. They make money. See that lousy boy, Pella and the rest that everybody loves and the rest. Oh, he's making tons of money. Where was he before 2 years ago? I'm sure he didn't know anybody like him. You understand? There are other things you can try out there. Yeah, but it doesn't have to always be product design. But if you want to come, just make sure to ask people who have been there for advice. It's very important. So they can give you proper guide. Don't go and put your leg in the deep water and then start saying, I should have this, I should have that. Shouldn't be that case for you. Okay? Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you so much, Esther. It's been a very, very, very fantastic conversation. Okay, Esther mentioned that for you as a beginner, you should not put anything like a beginner in your own bio. Make sure you package yourself in a way that is going to exude that you have experience. And for Benjamin, Benjamin said, if you are even considering coming, make sure you are open to at least starting up by doing a couple of free things so you can also build up your own experience level. I'm not going to say the aspect where you mentioned they should not come. I'm going to, cut out that part entirely. All right, but thank you so much, Ben. Thank you so much, Esther. It's been a very, very productive conversation. All right, so this other segment, I'm going to take over and be able to speak to everyone with regards to what we also do here at Analytics. So thank you, Ben. Thank you, Esther. Feel free to be in the comment sections to also answer a couple of questions that people might be dropping for both of you. All right, and for everyone that is on this call that is just joining, I know you guys might be wondering why is Analytics actually having a product design conference. Why exactly are we having a product design conference? All right, it's simple. We've also seen what's happening in the economy. We've also seen what's happening across the globe. If you know us before now, I'm sure there's a lot of courses that everyone here knows us with. But there is room for growth, there is room for improvement. So what we always do as a company is that we review every single job that is posted on several job boards out there. Right? We look at LinkedIn, Glassdoor, CV Library, Indeed, Bulletin, Google Jobs, and several others. With one aim, we want to be able to find out the jobs that had the highest number of posting for each year. Okay, and after getting all those things, next thing that we now look at is these jobs that we've seen, are they going to be valid in the next coming years? Okay, are they going to be a job that in the next 5 years, people are still going to be there? The need for them are going to still be there. And lastly, we analyze them with regards to, can they also give us visa with regards to what we are looking for? If you're in UK, is there a job that's going to make you to be eligible for skilled worker visa? If you're in US, is it going to be part of the ones that is amongst the highest H1B visa rates? And also if you're in Canada, is it amongst the jobs that fits into the provincial nominee programs? So I know before now, everyone on this call, we all know analytics with business analysis, data analytics, data science, data engineering, agile project management, cyber security, HR analysis, financial analysis. But the good news is that we've seen the light as well, which is why we have product design as part of things that we are also going to start offering by next month. Okay, it's part of what we are going to start offering. And why exactly are we venturing into this? It's simple. Okay, we've looked at the World Economic Forum report to find out what's the future of jobs actually. All right, in the next coming years, what is actually going to happen? And we notice that truly, in the next coming years, there are new jobs that are going to be created. In fact, 117 million jobs are going to be created. Okay, 117 million jobs are going to be created. And then out of this creation, 92 million jobs are going to disappear. Then we also notice that part of the jobs that are going to be created is now UI and UX designers. So this is the reason why it is part of what we are currently offering right now. If you know us before, you know that we offer things around big data, AI, machine learning, cyber security, because they all exist there. But we've also seen that UI and UX designers is now part of the fastest growing jobs out there, according to the World Economic Forum report. And World Economic Forum report is just a forum where world leaders always come together to discuss the future of jobs and the ones that are going to be valid in the next coming years. And this is the sole reason why it is part of the programs that we are currently going to start offering from next month. Okay, so if you've had ideas around, oh, I want to get into these exact aspects of the tech industry, it is part of our own offerings. And there is good news for everyone on this call, because I have a token for everybody that joined this conversation today. But what I also want to highlight is that while we are having jobs that are growing, which are these jobs that are highlighted on this left-hand side, we also have jobs that are declining, which are highlighted on this right-hand side. And one critical thing we realized from these World Economic Forum reports is that while UI UX product design is also growing, graphic designers are declining, in all sincerity, from what the World Economic Forum report actually posted. Okay, and that's bringing me back to what Esther mentioned. So Esther mentioned that if you're looking to get into design, that before now flyers can be designed by anyone using AI and so many things, but people that are still going to be hired into design, make sure that you are going to the aspect where AI is not going to be able to do what you are doing. So clearly, graphic design, according to the World Economic Forum report, is part of the jobs that are declining. And it was very, very alarming when I saw it, because out of all the skilled jobs out there, it is the only one that actually appeared. But then the good news is now there is a light at that end of the tunnel, which means if you're still a graphic designer, there is need for you to add other skill level to what you are currently doing to move towards this aspect where most of the jobs are going to tilt towards. Okay, so it's not that you are going to be out of vogue, but it's now what are you adding to what you already have that is going to make you to also be more needed out there. Okay, and what I also try to do is to look at jobs out there, just utilizing only Indeed for last week. And I realized that this is product design, my guys. I was surprised when I saw this on product design. UK 3,104, US 2,194, Canada 799. I was shocked. So what it simply means is that it's even topping most of the other jobs with regards to availability as at this moment. So it's a very, very hot career path right now that if you have what it takes, you should actually consider getting into it. Okay, so for us here at Analytics, it is a fresh course that we are about to start. For all the other courses that we have, we've had people that actually moved from being a medical doctor to becoming a data engineer, from being a pharmacist to becoming a data analyst, from being a nurse to becoming a data engineer. And this is also what we know is going to happen with regards to the product design. Okay, there are people that have also moved from the arts background into the tech ecosystem, and all these success stories exist here on this slide. Okay, which is why it's important for you to fill the attendance form so that when we are done, can easily go back, look at the slide, and understand every single thing that we have there. Okay, and there is one single approach that we use here. It's simply you learn, you package yourself, and then you apply to jobs. Okay, you learn, you package yourself, and then you apply to jobs. If you heard when, I think Esther or Ben, when both of them were speaking, someone mentioned that you shouldn't have something as a beginner on your bio if you're looking to break into these sectors. So how do you build up all those years of experience? How do you build up that skill before being able to mention, oh, I'm not actually a beginner in this space. I've done this for over a couple of periods. First thing is you have to learn. Second, you have to package yourself, and then you need to apply to the job. So once you're able to master this simple step, you are definitely going to land the job. But the problem these days is that we either learn and then we start applying, or we don't even learn and we start packaging ourselves and start applying. So that means there is still comma with regards to what we are doing, right? But once you're able to put in these three simple steps, LPA, learn, package, and apply, you are definitely going to land the jobs. So for other programs that we have here at Analytics, this is the same step that will help a lot of people move from what they are presently doing into the tech space. So if you are someone that you are creative-minded, you want to be in the aspect where you bring things to life, and you're looking towards product design, we are here to tell you that we can also give you that. And how exactly are you going to learn? So all our courses are structured in a way that it is an interactive discussion, interactive class. So the same way we are having this conversation right now, that is how you are going to also be learning in the classroom. Okay, and there will also be some snippets of videos, which we call Watch Me Do It video, that your own facilitator will also prepare for you to understand the other elements of things that was not covered in the classroom. Now, when it comes to packaging, it is very, very crucial. But before I jump into what it entails, let's see what Elon Musk had to say. So he mentioned that if you are a hardcore software engineer and want to build everything up, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at, just show us your code. So what this actually entails fully is simple. Nobody cares about your certification anymore. All right. Or Benjamin, I don't know, if you want to get into product design, do you need to have a specific certification for you to be an expert product designer?
No, I hardly used it. In fact,
exactly.
I hardly used it.
All right, so this is to show you guys that it is skill and experience that tops everything that you're looking to get into right now. So the question now is, how do you get that skill? Okay, how do you build up those skills? When it comes to packaging, first thing you need to have is you need to be able to show evidence of things that you've actually been able to do in the past. Like I mentioned, this is how other people in different programs with us were able to also build portfolios to show things that they've done in the past, and they can comfortably mention that this is what they've done. Now, clearly, what exactly are you going to be working on? Because we also play in the consulting space where we get contractual services while we are working on them. You are working on them as well. So what this simply means is that you are not studying with us. You are actually consulting with us, right? The difference now is going to be if the company said, oh, if there are some data protection laws, whether it's GDPR or NDPR, we have to also abide by. So you may not know the specific company that you are working for, but you are working on a real life project. And this is how you can actually be able to package yourself to show evidence of things that you've been able to do in the past so that recruiters will know that you are not a beginner. And not just that, your CV is going to also be worked on. We're going to optimize your LinkedIn as well as how do you navigate the job market. So we bring in experts from US, UK, Canada, Africa, back to the classroom to walk you through how do you actually apply to jobs. Then when it comes to interview prep, this is very, very crucial part of the program, okay? Because when you land an interview invite, someone from our team is going to prepare you regards to how do you answer these interview questions? How do you utilize the SEET framework, the STAR approach to answer interview questions at any point it's come? For instance, let's look at the STAR framework. That's simply situation, task, action, and results. And your situation will always be, oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on this project where a client required us to design maybe an LMS for them. I had to use Figma to do this, do that, do this, do that. And in the end, it resulted to us building a very, very captivating storytelling LMS that customers love. So when you speak like this, recruiters are going to know that you've actually worked on a project and you actually have an experience. And then, of course, we provide you with references and recommendation letter at any point that you desire any of this. If you're in US, UK, or Canada, you agree with me that this is very, very vital because recruiters always want to know what have you done? Where have you also been able to give your best to? And when you land a job, you are still struggling, we're also fully here to support you on the job. Then weekly mentorship sessions where you have experts come back to the classroom to walk you through on the latest in the industry with regards to product design. Then Upwork, if you want to learn how to freelance and make £50 here, $50 here, 50K here, 50 cedis here, it is also part of the packages that you are going to be receiving. Now, for the product design program, it is fully for a 4-month program, where 3 months you are going to be actively learning with analytics. Then for the next 1 month, you are going to be interning with Amdari. So Amdari is also a consulting firm that is fully based in the United Kingdom, while Analytics is based in Canada. So what this entails is that you have 2 leading companies in Canada and UK having experience from them. Can comfortably mention, oh, while I was consulting with Analytics, I did this. Oh, while I was interning with Amdari, I also did that. Then when it comes to applying to jobs, what we do from our own side is we also scrape several job boards outside there and provide it for you. And then teach you how to tailor your CV down to the specific job that you are going for. Now, this is to make sure that after we've scraped the job and provided it to you, you are now using the tailored CV to apply to them. So you can see how the process joins together. We are going to teach you the technical skill, package you in regards to what you need to actually come out as a full-fledged tech professional, and then scrape several job boards outside there and provide it to you. But then the responsibility of applying to these jobs rests solely on you. Now, for the other programs that we offer, we currently sit at 91% success rates. What this means is that 91 people out of 100 that come into our program get to move on to greater things. Now, the 9% that did not, does it mean we did not give them the same thing? No. But the difference always comes to applying to jobs. Okay, are you applying the principles of tailoring your CV to the specific job that you are going for? Okay, I hope this makes sense to every single person on this call right now. Remember what I said? Learn, package yourself, and apply. When it comes to package, I'm going to give us an example. I was in Nigeria a couple of months back, and we're trying to close a deal with an university. Okay, so they asked me one important question. How many years of experience do I have? I mean, look at me, guys. If you look at me, I'm a very, very, very young guy. And when they asked me that question, how many years of experience do I have? I already know where they're tilting towards. They're trying to, make you look like you are still quite young in this space. I simply mentioned, oh, our management team has close to 40 years of experience. My founder has, 15 years of experience. My co-founder, 12 years of experience. Myself, I have 11 years of experience. And collectively, we have over 40 years of experience. And with that singular response, I was able to package our organization very well to have a partnership with that university. So these are part of the things that you are going to be getting when it comes to how do you package yourself. So learn, package, and apply. These are the 3 principles that we utilize here in Analytics to make sure that you get the skills that you desire and move into the tech career path that you're looking for. So everything on my slide, they are all success stories of people that have been able to do this before you. Now, they may not be in the product design space because this is the first cohort we are offering in the product design space, all right? But when it comes to data science, data engineering, AI, cybersecurity, business analysis, name them, there are tons and tons of success stories of people that have been able to go through this program, all right? So feel free to fill the attendance form so that when you get the slide, you can clearly be able to understand their own story. Go through it, hear what they have to say, and understand from them. Now, when you join the program, what exactly are you going to be learning? Clearly, you can see from the UX foundations and research down to wireframes, visual design and prototyping, and then to usability test and also your portfolio, and then critically, AI in product design. These are part of the things that you are going to be learning. And it's a fully immersive practical class. Learning how to use Framer, how to use Figma, how to use Claude, how to use Notion with regards to product design. Okay, now here comes the good news. How are you able to start in the next coming months? Our next cohort is starting by December 3rd, and this is clearly for the product design. If you're looking to go into another career path that has to do with tech, they are going to be starting by next week, which is November 8th. But for product design, it is starting by December 3rd. And how much does it entail? So for all our programs, like you can see, number 1 to 9, they are all for $8,000, but with a 25% discount at $750. But for product design, it is going for $600, but at a discount of $450. But I have a good news for everybody here. On this call right now, there is a 50% discount for anyone looking to get into that product design as at now. So all you have to do is to utilize this code that I just circled right now. Utilize this code that I just circled right now and head over to our website and utilize it to pay out for it. I'm going to walk you through it. And you don't have to pay it one-off. It's structured in a way that you can pay it every month. You are paying a portion. So in 3 months, you can pay off that $300, which is going to be the outcome. So the program for product design, the amount is $300, meaning when you utilize this code, you can easily be able to get into it with that exact amount. So clearly walk us through how we can easily be able to secure our spots as fast as possible. So once you click on that link that my colleagues are dropping, you can easily see you have access to our course catalog here, every other programs that we are currently offering. Scroll down and look for product design. So clearly you see that the discount on the website is for $450. But because you are on this call, there's a 50% discount off for you. So all you have to do is simply click on buy now. Once you click on buy now, it's going to take you in here to now enroll immediately. So once you click on enroll, what you have to now do is simply put in your name. So this is a demo account, so I'm going to put my name, Mr. Ice, Ekpachukwuemeka Emmanuel. And then I'm going to use my email address to register. Let me copy this demo email right here also to utilize it. So I'm going to use this email to register. Okay. I think someone is trying to unmute. All right, I've copied it and then come back to the, but for you, clearly you have to use your own email address, then put my own phone number as well. Put my own phone number as well. Okay, now for the sake of this, let me continue. I don't know, can anyone still hear me? Can we all still see my screen? Can we all still see my screen? Now, once you, all right, fantastic. Once you've done that, all you have to now do is to make sure you read the terms and conditions. I know many people do not like reading terms and conditions. So once you look at it, you check the box that you've done that and then create your account. Once you create this account, it's going to now come up to you that your account has been successfully created. Okay, so now you have to now go in and select when you are starting. So for product design, you can see that this next cohort is starting on December 3rd rather. So once you go there, you can easily see all the amounts that you have here. So remember, it is $450 that you are going to be seeing. But note that you have a different code that will give it to you to be able to secure your port easily. So if you want to pay it in 3 installments, which means you want to pay less than 150, that you want to pay 100, 100, 100. Okay, because with that 50% discount, it means that you are going to be paying $100, $100, $100. All right. And the beauty of this is that no matter where you are joining from, it's going to pick your geolocation and give you the currency in your own local currency. So if you are joining from Canada, you're going to see the pricing in CAD. If you are joining from US, you're going to see the pricing in USD. If you are joining from Nigeria, you're going to see it in NG. And if you are joining from UK, you're going to see it in pounds. So once you've selected that 3 months instrumental payments, simply click on apply discount, okay? Once you apply that discount, it's going to now bring you right in here for you to now see what you've already selected, all right? Once you now do that, remember, you can change the code. Now, this is where it is very, very crucial that you listen right now. Remember, I gave us a code. Let me go back to that code that I gave all of us. Now, this is the code, which is Analytics 50 off. Okay, once you copy it and come back to here, you can click on this change code. So when you click on that change code, click on apply custom code and then put that code and then apply. So once you do that, it's simply going to now change your own payment style. You can see that it has changed to $300. This is as simple as it can be. And remember, the program is structured that you pay once every month, which means first payment is today, October 31st, next one, October 30th, next one, December 30th. But if you also want to structure how you want to make your payment, maybe your salary comes in, let's say, 1st or 2nd of every month, simply click on this edit date as well. Now, you can now structure it that the next payment is now going to be on the 1st or anyhow you want it to be and click on save. All right, you can see that it will now automatically change. That first one is October 31st, next one is November 1, which we rightly just changed now. Okay, remember we changed it. If you want it to be a different date, let's say you want the next one to be as at December 6th, simply also do the same thing. You can see that it has also changed. First one is now October 31st, next one is December 6th, next one January 5. And then that is simply how you can also be able to choose when your own payment is also going to be coming in. All right, remember, the discount is just valid for people that join this call, that will share this code with, and that want to secure their spots as fast as possible. So once you've applied it, simply also confirm that your information is correct and everything that you provide is correct to us, and then confirm that you've read the terms and conditions again, and then click on Pay Now. So once you click to Pay Now, it's now going to take you to where you can check out your code as fast as possible. And that is simply as easy as it can be. That is as easy as it can be. I hope this makes sense to everyone. Once you've concluded the entire process, you are going to be welcome to our dashboard, our LMS dashboard, where the entire program is now being offered. So this is as easy as it can be. If I'm you, trust me, I am going to utilize this discount option regards to the new program we are launching and be able to benefit from it entirely. Once it is over, the price goes back to the full amount, which is fully that $600. All right. Now, all these are the other programs that we offer, like I already mentioned, which is not for you. But if you want to also go for any of them, feel free to look at the slide and find out what it actually entails. And if you want to reach out to us, our emails and details are also existing right here. All right, you can message us on WhatsApp on these lines that is clearly here, or you can also email us on all these emails that we have here, enquiries@10analytics.io or admissions@10analytics.io as well. And we are always going to be here to have conversations with you. Remember, this discount is just for the first 20 people to secure their option. And for the people that will do so in the next 24 hours, there's a second offer for you. We have an exclusive program where we also discuss how you can also move with Global Talents Visa. And if you're able to secure your spot, you are going to be part of that exclusive session with our experts to walk you through how you can also go through that exact route, okay? And when you are done, you're also going to have our certificate that is fully accredited by the American Council of Training and Development. All right, so this is what we are offering you, and I believe and hope that we are all able to take this discounted option as fast as it can be. Last year, we got into the Alberta Catalyzer program. This year, we're also into the UK Dohe Accelerator program with one single aim. How do we help more people to break into the tech industry? And your own time is what has arrived now. Okay, I don't know if anyone has questions. Feel free to drop it in the comment section right now or use the raise hand icon, and we are going to address it as fast as possible. Does anyone have any question that we need to take before we round up for this conversation? Because we are at the tail end of the discussion for today. Any question from anyone? Do we have? I can't see any hand raised. I can't see any question in the comment section. Let's remember that once this discount is over, the price goes back to the full amount. All right. But right now, you can utilize the new launch cost program discount, which keeps it at a 50% off, and break into product design if that is where you are looking to get into. All right. For people that are just joining, please ensure you fill the attendance form, because that is what we are going to be using to share this slide with you and also share the recorded version of this conversation. Do we have any question from anyone before we round up for today? Any question from anyone? I can't see any hand raised. I can't see anyone in the comment section. All right, fantastic. That means everything that we've communicated is very, very, very clear. Remember what I mentioned earlier? The discount is just for the first 20 people to secure their spots. And on this call right now, we're close to 50. And after sessions like this, these spots are easily secured. And if you have any challenge, all right, with regards to this, feel free to reach out to us on the email that is on my screen, and also the lines that we also have displayed right there. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone. I can't wait to see us come December 3rd. What exactly does 50% mean for the product design? A good question. All right, Nicholas, what it simply means is that with this code that we have highlighted here, you can secure the spot at a 50% discount. All right, so instead of 600, you are getting it at 300. And you can easily pay it instrumentally at $100 per month, 100 USD per month. So that is what it fully encompasses. So instead of the normal 25% off that you see on our website, by virtue of you being in this session, we have this 50% discount existing for you. Okay, remember, make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you can also have access to this code and utilize it while making your purchase on the website. Or feel free to screenshot it right now and utilize it and fill it on while you're also trying to make your own purchase. All right. And if you have any challenges with regards to this, please remember our lines are constantly available to everyone 24/7, no matter the time zone that you are joining from. And also our email is available for anyone to also reach out to us. And we're also going to be here to answer your questions. All right. Do you have a combo package where a participant can join 2 or more programs at discounted rates? Fantastic question, Austin. As at this moment, there is no existing combo package. But what happens is that when you have purchased one program and you're coming back for the next, you have an extra 5% discount fully given to you as a returning customer. So, Austin, that is what we currently have right now. I joined quite late, but in a few sentences, what is the role of a product designer in an organization? Fantastic question. I don't know if Benjamin is still here, but in the absence of that, I'm going to walk you through what the role of a product designer entails in the industry, as easy as it can be. Now, when you talk about product design, a lot of things are actually involved, okay? Now, how do you marry together both the design elements, the prototyping, the interaction, and of course, the adoption, conversion, and retention? So someone needs to build that customer platform, build that customer journey that will come out in a way that your journey is going to be enticing. That is their job. So all these mobile apps that you are seeing, web pages that you are seeing, product designers are the people that actually designed it and brought it to life, all right? But it is not just about design. It's not just about the visual art that is there, the colors, the elements, and all. As a product designer, you're now also looking at it from a business perspective, which now encompasses both your adoption and also the growth of the products that you're trying to bring to life. I hope that answers the question that the last person dropped in the comment section. That's from Annabelle. Okay, and that is all the questions that we have right now. Please, if you joined late and you missed anything, feel free to use the attendance link that my colleagues are dropping right there. And you are going to have access to the slide and also to the recorded version of this conversation. So thank you so much to everyone that listened to us for the last 2 hours, 25 minutes. It's been a very, very, very productive afternoon. And thank you so much to Benjamin and Esther that graced our occasion today. On behalf of our founder, Adeza Suleiman, and also our co-founder, Efemina Ipro, I say a very big thank you to each and every one of you that joined this session. Remember, the best time to actually break into tech is yesterday. The next best time is today. And product design can be the way forward for you. Cheers, everyone. And I will see you come December 3rd in the classes that we have already started. Cheers, everyone, and bye for now.